What's going on, everybody? It's your boy Kryptonian saying here, bringing you guys a review for One Piece chapter 965. And I gotta say, man, this was interesting. This was pretty damn interesting right here, man. So the chapter confirms how Momo and Hiyori were born. So they were born when Oden was a member of Whitebeard's ship, which is so ironic given the fact that, you know, Momo eventually ended up being on a pirate ship himself. That was kind of cool to actually see how Oda kind of tied that back in there. And don't even get me started with that beautiful double page spread at the end. Oh my God. Like when you see Shanks and Shanks is just kneeling on top of the Navy men, and you got Buggy being lookout, and all of the Roger crew is there, and you see Rayleigh and all of Rayleigh's glory just kind of standing there like a badass, and you got Roger saying like, at least bring Sengoku. Now, at least bring Garp with you next time, or at the very least, you could bring Sengoku. It's like this dude Roger was a fucking animal, man. Like, I love that shot right there. Fucking awesome. But there's a lot that happens in this chapter, man. There's a whole lot that happens. This spans over a pretty decent amount of time. So, you know, Oda is kind of kicking it into gear a little bit. So, you know, you can obviously tell where Oda's getting ready to go from here. Essentially, he's got it set up to where you have the situation where Orochi is lying and clawing his way to the top. Eventually, that's where the tragedy of Oden is going to take place. The only thing I'm kind of just waiting for is to see how Kaido fits into this whole equation right here. But Whitebeard's saying, like, your country's still free for now. And it's just like, okay, you know, the dialogue makes it seem like, you know, they're saying Wano's still free from the Navy at this point, but that's also foreshadowing that, like, nah, like, we as the readers know Wano's gonna fall, but it's gonna fall under Kaido and Orochi's leadership. So I thought that that was kind of cool to kind of see how that was kind of, you know, indirect foreshadowing where the characters are talking about one thing, but we as the readers know that there's another thing that takes place. And that spread where they name Momo, oh, that was so beautiful. That had me so much in the feels right there, because it's one of those times to where I don't particularly care for Momo. Like, when he has this moments where he turns into an absolute perv, I laugh my ass off. Like, when just thinking about it makes me laugh, man. Because, you know, this dude was like, yeah, oh, Nami, I see you all in your glory, baby. Oh, Robin, I see you all in your glory. Let me get the dollar bills for you. Like, like I love it. I love it, right? I love when Momo has those just, like, derpy, super pervy looks on his face, but at the same time, like, what I like here is that in this moment, you just realize what could have been if Oden was never killed. And that's what I was really thinking about when I saw that panel where how proud this dude Oden looks when he's holding up Momo and he's naming him. That was so fucking nice to see that, man. Like, that hit me right in the feels. And I like how, you know, we see how, you know, Oden is getting promoted up the ranks and it's being given more freedom and leeway. And that kind of goes back to what I said before. You know, with Whitebeard, you know, he understands, like, yo, you know, this dude's too big of an alpha. Eventually, we're going to clash. And so at this point, he's doing what I said. A good leader figures out a way to make it work as long as you can to accomplish your goals. So what Whitebeard did at this point is Whitebeard said, yo, you go lead the whole division. You just lead a separate division. You can handle this. And it kind of gets Oden out of his straw for a second, and it also gives Oden the opportunity to kind of stretch his legs and feel more like an alpha himself. Yes, he's still got to answer to Whitebeard and do a Whitebeard once, but now it's one of those things where you got to do a Whitebeard once, but now you have the freedom to decide how you actually get what Whitebeard wants done actually accomplished. So that's a good little compromise right there. That's a good leadership trait. Now, obviously, we have to talk about the whole thing with Orochi's backstory, what's going on with his grandfather. Like, the more that you see how they actually arranged this whole situation, this was a very slow takeover of Wano, very deliberate. And, you know, like I said before, when it comes to the character of Orochi, every time I see this dude, I just want to go take a hot bath. Like, I just want to go take a hot bath and scrub everything off. Like, this dude is just dirty. And I love every second of it, because when you got a character like this that can generate that much of a response out of your reader, it's showing you that what the author is trying to accomplish is working. So in this case, everything's working from a different perspective. So narratively, we know what's going to happen. That's the benefit of having a flashback where the ending's already set in stone, is we already know what actually happens. And so it's building tension and making you wonder, how do we actually get to this point? In this case, we know like, oh snap, okay, so this is how he acquired the money. This is how he acquired the manpower. This is how he got named to be the shogun of Wano. Like, the dominoes just begin to fall, and it's in this moment that when he gets named the shogun of Wano, so many different things happen. So you have the narrative build up. You also have the reader's investment. You have the character interactions where all of a sudden Yasu's like, why would Oden consider him to be like a brother? And then you see the actual panels in the flashback to where Oden, quote unquote, considers him to be like a brother, and you see how Oden's generosity was used against him, and you just see how Orochi just acquired everything, and it's very much in vain with just how his grandfather tried to acquire power as well. So I thought that that was kind of cool to actually see that element right there. That was actually a good little build up right there. That's really, really good. Now, one other thing I will say is that, kind of in closing, is that I like how once they finally get to a situation where Whitebeard's crew begins to start to collide with Roger's crew, what I like in this moment is how you see how it's going to be a clash with essentially two monsters. And I feel like that's something that definitely works in this situation, because we as readers know that these are two legendary figures right here. So I thought it was kind of cool to see that. Now, obviously, I don't think they're going to fight. I do think you're probably going to have a situation where potentially Oden maybe swap swords with Roger. But essentially, this is one of those times where, you know, we're just seeing greatness getting ready to happen. And, you know, by having the birds fly off like that, yes, it's because the ship is actually breaking onto the shore. But it's also like, when you look at it narratively, it's almost like the animals are running because they know that this island has the potential to be an entire battlefield in of itself. So I thought that that was kind of cool. But overall, this is a cool chapter, man. My chapter question for you guys is, what do you think it says about Orochi that he was able to put together a plan that took this long to accomplish, but still nonetheless waited out and accomplished it? Do you think that he should be respected for that? Or do you think that what he did is so despicable that there's no amount of respect that needs to be given to him? Let me know down in the comment section below. But as always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.